Hello everybody, welcome to the Dr. Beasley's Clean Room. I am the Director of Success, Chris Ricana, here today to talk about the future of detailing past. We're actually going to do a recap of our most recent Future of Detailing clinic that took place at Lake Country Manufacturing in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. But before we get too deep into that, folks, I do want to remind you, if you do enjoy these videos that we put out there for you, go ahead and show us the love and smash that subscribe button. And while you're smashing, you should go ahead and tickle that notification bell so that way you can be notified every time we drop a new video on the Dr. Beasley's YouTube page. But anyway, guys, the Future of Detailing Advanced Correction Clinic that took place in September of 2023 was a truly monumental class for many reasons. Number one, it was our first class with Mike Phillips. Earlier this year, we brought aboard Mike Phillips as our CEO, or Chief Education Officer. So I was personally really excited to bring together Mike's style of detailing boot camps and the Future of Detailing clinics and merge them together. So this was the first of those classes that included Mike Phillips. But also, guys, it doesn't stop with Mike Phillips. We also had Andy B. Cool there as well. So two new instructors that were new to the FOD regime, but obviously fit in seamlessly, and I think it really showed the benefits of having multiple instructors there, in addition to the Dr. Beasley's authorized trainers we had present there. Of course, my biggest and most heartfelt thanks goes out to Zach Smith, Pittsburgh Pro Car Care, as well as Lance Beckett, Mirror Image Tennessee's. Those guys, as Dr. Beasley's authorized trainers, are invaluable, as are all of our authorized trainers, but those are the guys that really make these classes come together and give us that real family feel, so you guys are getting that attention that you deserve so you can bring your detailing skill to the next level. Having this amount of trainers, again, you had Mike Phillips, you had Andy B. Cool, you also had Rod Kraft from Griot's Garage, you also had Bob Myers, president of the IDA, Chris Metcalf from Flex Tools, as well as Scott Bowles from Lake Country Manufacturing. So that's 7 trainers, plus myself, Jim Lefebvre, Bob Eichelberg. You had all these professionals there to help out 19 students that came into Oconomowoc, Wisconsin to raise their paint correction game. This, again, guys, the most amount of trainers we've ever had in one class, also the most amount of students we've ever had in one class. But again, we were working to maintain that trainer to student ratio to ensure that the students got the attention that they richly deserved. So anyway, the idea was we're gonna come into Wisconsin for 2 days of advanced correction training. So first day was dominated by show car detailing. That means 2-step detailing, and that first step, guys, starts with a Flex PE 150. That's our cordless rotary that we use in our classes to get our rotary skill set down. It's one of the most intimidating machines to pick up. It's also one of the hardest to master, which is why that's the first thing we go after in the Future of Detailing Advanced Correction Clinic, is that rotary skill. Then we come back with that DA skill, so you can master removing those holograms left behind by that rotary machine with that DA machine to get that true show car finished. We came back then in day 2, and we got started with extreme prep bay. So this was washing the car and scrubbing tires. This was also wet and dry engine detailing, if memory serves. And basically the whole process to get started with the vehicle before we get into the correction process. Then we went into sanding, really the star of the show of the weekend. So this was probably later Friday morning, and we actually were hands-on sanding 2 vehicles. We had a 1993 silver AMG C55, which is a neat little car. They never made a C55, they made a C43. This was an engine swap, but that's a story for another time. And then we also had a 300C. Now those Chrysler 300Cs are great to sand on because those are big, flat panels, which allowed plenty of space for the students to master their sanding skills. So we got started with, if memory serves, 2500 grit to smooth out those finishes. And then we came back with our rotary polishers to bring out the sanding marks. And then of course finished with our DA polishing, featuring our nano surface primers, of course, to bring out that final luster and any holograms, of course pulling out any holograms left over by that rotary step. So of course guys, we were not done just with the paint correction. Of course we have to apply protection as well, so that's why we came through with some Nano Resin Pro for that AMG C55, as well as a Nano Resin MX for that black 300C. One of the things I love about our detailing classes is that every single one is unique. I mean, we have a general structure that we follow from one to the other, but you never know what opportunities are going to present themselves. And this September, it was an opportunity like we've never had before. I got a call from our friends over at Lake Country Manufacturing, and they said, "Would you like the Wienermobile at the Advanced Paint Correction Clinic?" And I said, absolutely, with zero consideration about the logistics or how we're going to get to work. I just knew we had to have it. We had the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile on site, and we were able to polish out that wiener and get it slippery and shiny like it's never been before. So this was actually too big of a project to work within the future of detailing advanced correction clinics solely. It would take over the entire clinic. So I put out a message there to our authorized detailer network to form a Wienermobile team. And this is where we had Jared Schroeder from Tidy Car Sheboygan. We had Cal Hingis, which I'm probably mispronouncing his name as I usually do. He's from Speckless Auto Spa, also in Wisconsin. And then down from Texas, we had Kirby Thompson from My Guy Auto Detailing. And then all the way from Arizona, we had Manuel Vallejo, and he is with Auto Care Asylum. So those four fine gentlemen made up the 2023 Wienermobile team. So those guys got on the scissor lifts. We're all over that thing. Of course, we had to prep it, wash it, clay it, all that kind of stuff. And then we brought it into the Lake Country facility, into their big giant warehouse, because it wasn't even gonna fit into the detailing bay. So we had to bring it around back, put it through that big overhead door and slide it right in there. And then we were able to get to work on the scissor lifts, and the guys were up there polishing, of course, using Udo's 51E machines, because it was a Lake Country manufacturing event, so you know we had to put that Udo's tool to use. And then, of course, we were also using Dr. Beasley's NSP Z1. So we were able to polish out the entire wiener while the class was able to come through and help us polish out the bun. So while they were doing that, the Wienermobile team was applying protection. So we actually did Bead Hero on the top of the wiener, and then we came back around on the bun, and I actually believe we used Griot's ceramic 3-on-1 on the bun. And of course, guys, we have to have, as the hot doggers, as they're known, the people that staff the Wienermobile, you know, it's a good thing if they can see what they're doing when they're driving this vehicle all over the country. So we applied our glass serum coating onto the windshield, so that way the hot doggers would have clear vision if and when they run into some weather. So again, an incredible opportunity. I'm so excited. Was a little worried about this when I got on the phone with Mike Phillips, and I was telling him, he's like, "Oh, well, this is gonna take over the whole class. People don't come to a training class to learn how to polish a Wienermobile. They want to learn how to polish cars, something they can make money doing." So it's a little bit of a concern, but again, you know, we were able to talk through it, make it work, brought together the appropriate people to make this project a success. And once we got through this whole process, it was graduation time. So as we like to do, Bob Myers and I, we had a nice presentation set up in the Lake Country conference room. So all the students that attended the Future of Detailing Advanced Correction Clinic received a full suite of nano surface primers. So that's 45, 95, 150, as well as Z1. They also got a full suite of pads from Lake Country. So they got 6-inch, 5-inch, and 3-inch sizes of the Force Gray, the HDO Blue, as well as the HDO Orange pads, which are Dr. Beasley's preferred pads for nano surface primers. Of course, Rod Kraft from Griot's Garage was very generous to bring in several items from Griot's, including a Griot's apron, as well as their clay tool, and a few other goodies as well. Other honorable mentions should actually go out as well to our friends Jason Otterness from Chicago Auto Pros, as well as Eric Joseph from Car Supplies Warehouse. They were kind enough to attend. They just kind of wanted to check out, see what we were doing up there in Oconomowoc and hang out with the guys a little bit. And so that was nice to have those guys hanging out with us as well. So anyway, we got to graduation. All the students came in. They were able to get their certificates. So of course we did the big picture. And of course, guys, you know, we always kind of pick the star car of the class, you know, to get that class picture in front of. There was no question that the feature vehicle for this graduation picture was going to be the Wienermobile. So you had the entire FOD class, all the trainers, all the guests, as well as the Wienermobile team present for that incredible picture, which we were probably showing you right now. And guys, this was our largest class ever. Again, 19 students and over 10 different guests and trainers were present. And one of the things I loved hearing is actually I was doing SV testing on the Saturday after the event, and one of the students I was SV testing, just in conversation, was telling me how, you know, he learned more from Andy in those 3 hours that he kind of spent with him than he did over the entire training. And I think that really makes a statement of what it's about. It's not only about those of us who are leading the training, but it's also about the guys who are supporting the training that makes our detailing classes so unique. And these are guys, again, and like Andy B. Cool, who is kind of roaming the class and just adjusting people's techniques and helping them out where they need it. Guys like, again, our authorized detailers, Lance Beckett and Zach Smith, were constantly moving around the room. But let's face it, guys, one of the biggest stars of the show, obviously, was Mike Phillips. Many people on that intake survey that we sent out for this detailing class said they were excited to meet Mike Phillips. And let me tell you, of course, Mike did not disappoint. But really, let's find out from the man, the myth, the legend himself. Let's see what Mike Phillips thought about his first ever Future of Detailing clinic.
The hands-on class that we recently held at Lake Country Pad Manufacturing in Oconomowoc was really a good example of a hands-on detailing class. There literally were no chairs. The only real break we took was when we took a break for lunch. We started on time, which is something I always try to do because we've made a commitment to people to start on time. So I try to make that happen. And if you look at any of the pictures and the videos from this, what you see is nothing but happy people having fun, learning tools that maybe are out of their comfort range. But that's how you grow, that's how you learn, is to try something new. And of course, we had myself and an entire team of qualified trainers there to watch over everybody and make sure they were using all the tools correctly. And if they are using them correctly, then we reinforce that. We let them know, hey, you're doing a good job. If there's an area where we think we could tweak their technique, well, then we let them know that too, because that's what we're there for, is to help them take their skills and their knowledge set to the highest level. I think over the course of 2 days, we detailed is either 5 or 6 cars. That's a lot of cars to tackle in just 2 days. It was all hands-on. We covered a variety of topics. Tools like the rotary polisher with wool pads for removing sanding marks or deep, serious scratches, swirls, water spots, and oxidation. We also covered orbital polishers, gear-driven orbital, and free spinning. So the students that take the class, they get a very well-rounded experience using a variety of tools, and they can make up their mind on which tool works best for them. Of course, we use the complete line of Dr. Beasley's products, which excel at maximizing results and performance. And of course, there were also the Griot's Garage team there. So the class got to use multiple different brands, different products, different tools, and this just makes for a really good learning experience. But above all, the class was fun, and everyone there made new friends and will be able to network with these people the rest of their lives.
So, biggest class ever, but also one of the most fun ever. So we're really excited about the future moving forward, folks. We're gonna have more Future of Detailing classes available to you all. You can always go to the Dr. Beasley's website and look under detailing classes, and you're gonna find upcoming schedule. The 2024 schedule should be out soon. what you're gonna see there is there's gonna be, all under the Future of Detailing umbrella, we're gonna have a primer clinic in 2024. We're gonna have another advanced correction clinic in 2024. We're gonna have our first ever 5-day pro clinic hosted right here in Chicago at HQ in 2024. And of course, for those of you looking for that traditional Mike Phillips 2-day or 3-day class, that 100% hands-on, no chairs class, well, we're gonna be offering those as well. So again, you're gonna see Mike's big 2-day class, Mike's big 3-day class, as well as our primer clinic, our pro clinic, and our advanced correction clinic, all on the schedule for 2024. So get over to Dr. Beasley's website, check out that detailing classes page, and you will see that we have one class left for 2023, and that's coming up in November, right after SEMA. But shortly after that, we're gonna have our full 2024 schedule up on the site for you guys to start planning and buying tickets. Thank you all for joining both Mike and I for this recap of the Future of Detailing Advanced Correction Clinic that took place in September of 2023 in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin at the Lake Country Manufacturing Facility. If you did enjoy this video and you want to continue enjoying videos like this, please help us by smashing that subscribe button. And if you're smashing, why not go ahead and tickle that notification bell so that way you can be notified every time we drop a new video on the Dr. Beasley's YouTube page. Thanks again, everybody. And wait, you know what it's time for, guys? I do have one last favor to ask. If you are out there and you're driving in the left lane and you're not passing anyone, can you kindly move over to the right? And that is because polite driving etiquette dictates that it is left lane for passing, middle lane for cruising, and the right lane for entering and exiting the expressway. Thank you so much, everyone. Drive safely.